Let's make this vegan banh mi sandwich.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so now we're gonna make the pickled veggies. This is probably my favorite part of the banh mi. Without it, it would not be the same. Traditionally, they use daikon radish and carrots, so that's exactly what we're gonna use today. But we're gonna do a quick pickling method because I don't have time to be pickling things for days right now. This one takes about 20 minutes. You can leave it overnight if you want to, but it can also just stay in a jar in the fridge and you can use it throughout your week. It lasts so well and it goes with pretty much everything. So the ingredients that you need for this, you need some sugar, some salt, some pickling vinegar or some white vinegar, and water, and then the vegetables that you want to use to pickle. So I usually just peel my radish and the carrots. I've already washed these. And then I like cutting them into a matchstick shape. Honestly, you could grate it if you want to. It would just feel a little bit too thin when you're biting into it. You still want a little bit of a crunch when you're biting into these veggies. I have this, I'm gonna use this today. This is just a matchstick grater, but you can also use a mandolin if you have that at home. I actually got introduced to banh mi because Jay, he started eating banh mi at Mendocino Farms in LA, and it was his favorite sandwich. Every time he would need to order anything for himself, if we weren't cooking any food at home, it would be the Mendocino Farms banh mi. And so I decided that I really had to master this. And to be honest, I have only had a bite of one before, but that taste has stayed in my mouth and I'm so excited to make it. This is honestly the first time I'm trying it out. In Ayurveda, it talks about how you need 6 tastes to make a dish perfect, and that's salty, sour, pungent, bitter, astringent, and sweet. And so I really think that this sandwich has all of it. There's a little bit of sweet, a little bit of salty, a little bit of savory. You have herbs that bring in that little bit of bitterness, the sweetness that comes from the sauce that you put into it. And so there's just such a great balance of flavors. And I think that's what makes it such a great sandwich. And all the textures, oh my goodness. You've got crunchy, you've got creamy with the sauces, crispy tofu. So I'm gonna put the veggies into a bowl. Ow, some of my finger went in there. Oh my God. Can you see it? But we're gonna keep going because that's what we do. So I've done 1 carrot, a daikon radish. I'm gonna do another carrot and hopefully not lose another finger in the process. And now we're gonna mix together the pickling juice. I have some water, I have some vinegar. I'm gonna mix them two together. I'm gonna throw in some sugar. Is that sugar? Or is it salt? It's sugar. We got it right. Thrown in some sugar. And then I'm gonna put in a good sprinkle of salt. And that's your pickling juice done. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. And then what you usually do is you throw in some salt into the bowl of your veggies before you put the pickling juice on. So you'll throw over a generous amount of salt and massage it into the vegetables. This is gonna help to release some juice from it. So you'll let that be for maybe 5 minutes before you add in the pickling juice. And you'll notice I'm feeling the water that's separating from the vegetables already. Any water that does come out, you can strain it out and then add in the pickling juice. You'll know when it's ready when you're able to bend the carrots or the daikon radish like this and it doesn't snap. So then you know that it's pliable enough. See, this one snapped, so it's not ready. So I'm actually gonna take these and put them into a strainer now as they're releasing the water. And you can see there's already water dropping. So you can leave that for about 5 minutes. It's basically what I look like in the sauna. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Letting the juices come out as much as possible. I'm gonna drain that out, pop it back into the bowl, and then pour in your pickling juice. And really it should cover all the veggies, so. And I'm gonna actually put them into a jar that I'm gonna end up keeping them in, but if you're only making the right amount for your banh mi, you can keep it in the bowl and just pop it away in the fridge for now. If you come from an Indian family, you'll know that parents, especially mums in Indian families, keep every single jar that comes into the house. So this is the pickling jar, but as you'll see throughout my videos, I probably have lots of jars that make absolutely no sense when I'm using them. We have a drawer full of Tupperware and most of it is empty jars. Oh, whoops. And that are your pickled veggies done, perfectly pickled. So I'm gonna put them aside and we're gonna get started on marinating the tofu.
Are you a messy cook or are you a clean cook?
Obviously I'm such a clean cook. No, I'm honestly one of the messiest cooks that you probably have ever. Even if I'm making a simple salad, it will look like I'm cooking for 20 people. But I think that's part of being a good cook. I think it goes hand in hand. My mom doesn't agree with that. She will say that you should put things away as you go along. And I definitely have the intention of doing that when I start cooking, but 5 minutes in and we're gone. For the tofu, we have a couple of ingredients we're going to use for the marinade, and they are extra firm tofu. And when I say extra firm, I mean proper extra firm. Look at this heavy block of tofu. And then there's a few other simple ingredients. I have some soy sauce, agave or maple syrup, miso, and some mayo. So we're gonna cut up the tofu first. Let's do that. I'm just gonna do thin to medium slices because you still want them to be a bit juicy. And then you score them because apparently it helps with the marinade to kind of get into the tofu more. I'm actually really excited to try this because when I was younger, my mum, whenever we would travel anywhere, and we used to travel quite a bit every year, they take us somewhere international to go to. And wherever we would travel to, the way that she would bring back the culture or the tradition back from where we went to was by bringing home recipes. And once a week on a Thursday, for some odd reason, it would be our international day. So instead of Indian food, we'd get to eat something from somewhere that we've traveled to. So it was really fun because she'd go all out. If we were having Chinese, we'd have chopsticks and we'd all have to eat with chopsticks. If we were doing Mexican, she would make traditional like burritos, and everything would obviously be vegetarian. But I knew no different because I was born vegetarian, and we really did experience the culture. When we went to Morocco, she brought a tagine and she would cook in the tagine for us. We never actually tried Vietnamese food, and so this feels like I get to experience it before I visit because I haven't been there yet and I really want to. So if you can see here, I've scored the tofu, so it's got these little gaps in there. This really helps the marinade soak in. I'm gonna pour everything into this one bowl. I'm not gonna lie, usually I would use a whisk for this, but I actually don't have one in this kitchen. So I'm using myself a fork and it will do just as well. Ideally have it as smooth as possible, but all the ingredients are in here and they're mixed up, so that is perfect. Let's give it a taste. Yummy. So now I'm just gonna throw all the tofu pieces in. You can actually make this the night before for the marinade to really sit into the tofu and get the maximum amount of flavor. But if you forgot to do that, it's totally fine. I would say at least leave it in for 20 minutes or a couple of hours if you can. If you don't like tofu, you could actually use some tempeh instead. There's also meat alternatives, like, you know, the chicken alternatives and seitan. So you could try it out with different meat alternatives and see which one you like the most. But honestly, when people tell me that they don't like tofu, in my mind, I always think it's because you haven't done it the right way, not because of the tofu, because tofu actually doesn't have much flavor. It's really what you flavor it with and how you cook it that makes all the difference of loving it or hating it. Try all the different ways before you say you're a tofu hater. So I'm gonna leave this aside and we'll get on with the rest. A banh mi has cucumber in it, but fresh, crunchy cucumber, not pickled. So what I like to do, you could do it many ways. You can cut it in the matchstick salad way, like we did with the pickled vegetables, or we can switch it up a little bit, and that's what we're gonna do over here. So really thin cucumber ribbons. There will be no more fingers harmed in the making of this banh mi. And then what is a sandwich without an amazing sauce? We're gonna make the banh mi sauce, and that's a mixture of a few different things. This is again a mixture of the sweet, the savory, and the umami. So we have some mayonnaise going in there. Essentially, it's a sweet and spicy mayo that we lather and drizzle into this. And then I'm gonna drizzle in some sriracha. And then I'm putting in a little bit of a sweet chili sauce. You know what? I thought I used to be able to hack it. And then when I actually go around real Indian people, I realize I'm the biggest spice wimp that I've ever met. So no, I do like green Tabasco. That's not even spice. I'm a disappointment to my Indian people. Woohoo, this looks amazing. And I'm gonna drizzle in a little bit of sesame oil. That's it. Now let's talk about the bread, shall we? So I got these handcrafted half ciabatta breads, but what you really want to make sure is that they are wide like this, you see? Because then you can fill it so much more wide and soft. Essentially, you're looking for the ones that they kind of use in Subway, but these are perfect and I feel like we'll be able to fill them really well. I avoid French stick breads just because they tend to be thin, but if you find a thick one, the texture of them is the best. The last ingredient we need to chop are some fresh jalapeno peppers. So we're gonna slice them really thin. And again, we're doing the diagonal. So the tofu's been marinating for long enough now, and we're gonna air fry it so it gets crispy but stays juicy on the inside. So I'm gonna spray my air fry tray on the bottom, and then I'm just gonna pop them on. Okay, so the tofu is ready and it looks absolutely delicious. Juicy in the right way, crispy in the right way. Oh my goodness, can't wait. We're gonna assemble, but just before that, we need to toast the bread. Here are the pickles I made earlier. Oh, pickly. Come on, toast faster.
We do not have all day.
Traditionally, there's apparently pate that goes at the bottom, but the place that I've once tried this sandwich from didn't have it. Therefore, we are not doing it either. I'm gonna start off with a layer of mayo. The spicy, spicy mayo. I'm a saucy girl when it comes to sandwiches. I need all the sauces. So then I'm gonna put on the tofu, slabbers. I'm going to put on the cucumbers. And then we're gonna go in for the pickles. Wow. And then we'll top it off with some jalapenos. If you wanna make a sauce a little bit runny, just add a little bit of water to it. I don't even care how it tastes, it looks good. Hope you like it spicy. Voila. How do you say that in Vietnamese?
Nè.
Nea. So do we eat it now? Oh, that sound. Nearly forgot. Some cilantro. And if it looks like parsley, that's just you.
Oh no, no.
I hope you enjoyed watching me make this banh mi for the first time as much as I enjoyed making it. Let me know if you do try it or if you have any other renditions that you prefer. And if Uncle Roger's watching this, please spare me.
Hiya.
I'm trying to explore different cultures, okay? Through my food.